in Brentwood, California, we are taking a trip to see all of the Golden Girls homes. First stop, we're going to see the actual Golden Girls house that you see in the opening credits and the entry of the show. Brentwood is an actual neighborhood of the greater Los Angeles township. It's located west towards the Pacific Ocean. In the TV show, Blanche Devereaux, played by RUEMCCLANAHAN, owned the home, and of course the three ladies moved in with her. Today's value of the Golden Girls home is roughly $4 million, so it would be interesting to know whether or not she would have sold that house today and bought something cheaper in maybe another part of town or outside of Los Angeles.
My family had a few dollars and I loved them dearly, but when you get right down to it, basically they were trash.
The home is located in just a regular neighborhood here in Brentwood, California. Here we are on the street where the Golden Girls house is. It's just a quaint little neighborhood, very cute. Of course, I picked garbage day to do this. It seems like the home is pretty much in the same shape it was back on the show. And here we are in front of the home in Brentwood, California. We are not in Miami. We're right here in the middle of Los Angeles. The show Golden Girls lasted for 7 seasons until BEARTHUR decided to leave the show. The other three, Sophia, Blanche, and Rose, went on to do Golden Palace, and they actually sold that house to purchase a hotel. I don't think the Golden Palace lasted much long. The next house we're going to see is the home that Beatrice Arthur lived in at the time of her death. She's also not too far away from the original Golden Girls house in Brentwood of Los Angeles, California. Now, Beatrice Arthur was born in 1922. She lived till 2009 until she was 86 years old. She purchased this home in Brentwood for $550,000, but she did extensive remodeling. At the time of her death, they put the house on the market and it sold for about $15 million. Beatrice got her start on a regular on Sid Caesar's Hour in the 1950s, and in 1964 she played on the original Broadway production of Fiddler on the Roof as Yenty the Matchmaker. 1966 she was on the famous Maine with Angela Lansbury. 1971 All in the Family. 1972 the super hit Maude. And she also was in the Golden Girls, of course, for 7 seasons. So here we are on the way to Beatrice Arthur's home. This home was built in 1924, has 7,000 square feet. This is a cute little neighborhood. You can see it's very quaint. You have horses going by. Beatrice just loved this neighborhood. This is actually Sullivan Canyon of the neighborhood of Brentwood in Los Angeles. Well, this is definitely the country in Los Angeles. All I gotta say is that Beatrice Arthur spent a lot of time commuting in and out of this neighborhood over to the studios. I'm sure she had a driver. Now we're pulling up to where Beatrice Arthur's house is. However, this is what you get. Now I may try to poke the camera over the fence to see if I can get a little bit of a shot of it, but we'll see. It sounds like they're doing a lot of construction to the home. I can't believe they're actually doing remodeling. It looked like it had been extensively done not too long ago, but who knows? This is where Beatrice probably went for a lot of walks. Such a quaint little neighborhood. think I got busted taking a picture over the fence, so that didn't last long. I also noticed cameras all over the place, so I'm sure that security will be coming soon. So the Golden Girls home and Beatrice Arthur's home were in Brentwood. Rue drove quite a bit. She was out in Encino, California, which really isn't too far. It's still within the Los Angeles city limits, but you have to drive up the 405 over to Encino. So that one's next. As many of you remember, that RUEMCCLANAHAN played the sexy Blanche Devereaux of the Golden Girls. Ironic that the designer of Rue's home over in Encino was Arthur Kelly. He designed the Playboy Mansion, and he also designed Blanche's home back in 1951. I'm on the 405 right now, headed up to Blanche Devereaux's home, and it's ironic that I'm passing the Getty Center, which is the same last name as Sophia, played by Estelle Getty. I tried to do some research on Estelle Getty's background and perhaps her relation to the Getty Center and Getty Images. The Getty family is pretty successful and well known. However, I was not able to find any connection to the families. In fact, Rue's house was probably closer to the studios in time, where BEARTHUR's home, you had to go through that rabbit trail.
God'll get you for this.
This totally looks like a neighborhood that a Southern belle might live in. So it looks like this home is also getting a renovation. Looks like all of the old Golden Girls homes are being remodeled. Now this home sold in 2017, so I'm kind of surprised that they're already remodeling it, but Rue had bought it in 1988, so can't believe it's been 32 years since Rue bought it, so it's probably due for an upgrade. So Rue was born in 1934 in Healdton, Oklahoma until 2010, where she died while residing in New York City. She got her start in 1971 in the show All in the Family. 1972, she worked with Beatrice Arthur in the show Maude. And then she also worked with Betty White in the show Mama's Family back in 1982 through 1984. And then she worked again with Betty White and Beatrice Arthur in 1985 through 1992 in the hit show Golden Girls. Well, we're leaving Blanche's house. Now we're going to head over to Sophia's house. Estelle Getty was born in 1923. She lived in Beverly Hills the latter part of her life. So she actually wasn't famous until later on in life. Then in 1992, she played with Sylvester Stallone in this movie called Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Here we can see the Getty Center as we head down the 405 back over to Beverly Hills. From what I understand, that Estelle Getty, because she didn't achieve superstardom until later in life, was quite humble working with such veterans such as Betty White, RUEMCCLANAHAN, and Beatrice Arthur.
You got nothing to fear but fear itself. And of course the boogeyman.
I have a feeling that Sophia probably liked all the big city stuff because she lived right off the Sunset Strip, like walking distance. She must have really enjoyed it. So here we are walking up to Sophia's house in Beverly Hills. Cute little neighborhood. Nice gates. Just a very quaint little house. Sophia lived right around the corner from the famous Soho house over in West Hollywood. Now the next house I would love to show you on the Golden Girls tour would be Betty White's house. However, I did some research and it looks like she lives in Carmel, California. Well, here I am in Beverly Hills. That's not going to happen today, so maybe another time I'll add on to this video next time I'm up there. Betty White was born in January of 1922, which makes her 98 years old. Her 99th birthday is coming up in January. Most people know Betty White from her hit show Golden Girls. However, in 1952, she had her own series called Life with Elizabeth. So she's been acting for what, 70 or 80 years? Starting in 1970, she was also in the hit TV show The Mary Tyler Moore Show with Mary Tyler Moore. She purchased a home in Carmel, California with her late husband, Alan Ludden, who was the TV show game show host of the famous Password. Betty White still lives in that house in Carmel, California. I did find on the internet Betty White's childhood home, so I think we should take a drive past that house and we'll have a full tour of every single Golden Girls home. If this information is accurate, it looks like Betty White's childhood home was close to Melrose Avenue, which is quite famous, lots of shopping right on Harper Avenue. And if it's true that Betty White lived on Harper Avenue, it's ironic that she co-starred with Carol Burnett on Mama's Family, and Mama's last name was Harper. So according to online, this is Betty White's childhood home. I don't know how reliable it is, but I'm taking their word for it. I hope you enjoyed this little fun Golden Girls house tour.